Hello farmers and welcome back to American Falls. First job of today is to bring some silage and some manure over to the BGA to start earning some money from that production building that we just currently purchased at the end of the last episode. Emptying out this silage first because while this was getting kind of full and I want this to keep running, yeah, we have a little over 400,000 liters of silage in here, and that way the other 317,000 liters of grass will be fermented over time. But the good news is now we don't have to wait until December to always sell the silage. We can always just grab a trailer load, bring over to the BGA, and get it processed over to electricity and methane, and of course digestate as well. Once we get a good amount of silage over there, we'll go into the pig pen and we'll grab the manure out of there as well. So we got actually two processes going in the BGA. And eventually we got to get the slurry over as well. The slurry seems to be kind of full for the pigs, but I'm going to need a tanker for that. Now, I've been kind of looking at my options of what to do there, and I think we're going to get the tanker that I always get, that I can haul around with a truck. Well, of course, we don't have a truck, so I'll have to buy the dolly. But I was going to buy the dolly anyways because I want to buy a low loader, for transporting pallets around and also straw bales around as well. So I was getting the dolly anyways, so I'm thinking the Fent should be able to haul around that tanker when it's full with 60,000 liters. Yeah, it should be able to. We'll find out in a while, but I'm going to need some money first off, and we're going to have to wait for that. So while we're waiting for the money to come in from the BGA, we're going to be in the same Fent, and we got to drill that wheat field that I didn't get to last episode because I got kind of super focused on getting this BGA purchase so we can get it up and running. So I'm excited to get this in there, get this up and going, and start seeing the money roll in. I just did a double check on the contracts just because when you log back into a save game, it's always good to check on the contracts because new ones can appear and the ones that were there might have disappeared. That's always been a thing in FS22. Even in the early stages, I don't know if this has ever been fixed, but I had a couple times to where I remember I did contracts, finished them. I said, oh, when I do next episode, I'll collect it with you guys, and then I log back in, and those contracts I completed but not have collected on were gone. They like disappeared. I don't know if that's still a thing or not. But anyways, over to the BGA. Let's dump this silage in. I may bring about 2 or 3 loads over just to make sure, because I really don't know the exact speed of how fast it's going to go through it. I know it's going to be pretty darn quick. The question is, how quick is quick? I'm not sure. Also, I noticed with the BGA, we do have a big silo bunker over here. So if I want some cash, we do have that silo bunker over at the sheep farm. I think I can get maybe 15 grand for that, something like that. Maybe, because if I want to ferment a whole bunch of grass, well, if you look at this bunker over here, that's like twice the size, maybe even 3 times the size. It's huge. So, yeah, I don't really need the one over at the sheep farm. So if I need some cash, we can go ahead and do that. I kind of forgot where the drop-off point on this is. So, of course, interactive zone markers on. All right, so hopefully either one, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, wait a minute. I can just dump silage right there? I don't actually back right up to it. I saw it pop up there for a second. Oh, there we go. So we actually like back right into it. I hope it doesn't just go on the ground. Okay, we're all set. I was ready to stop unloading just to be sure. Let me scroll on down here. Where are we here? No, it's already up and running. Good, so that will work. So yeah, every hour it's going to chew through 8,000. So within 5 hours, this load will have been processed. So that's not too bad. Digestate on storing. That's good. So yeah, I think next load, because this will take about 5 hours in game time to go through that, we can go ahead and we're going to go get the manure and get that processed as well. So the question is, I guess I put the manure in the same spot. We will find out. Actually, let me leave the interactive zone markers on because I got to figure out where the fill trigger is over at the pig pen. But there's one load brought over out of many. But at least we'll start earning more money than we would have if we were just to sell the silage directly. The greenhouses, oh, I haven't checked on the greenhouses for a while, but Everything looks green in there, so I assume they got plenty of water. Oh yeah, and while I'm going past here at some point, I got to give the sheep some water. They got enough food because I've been doing what a couple people suggested before. Just that when I put a bale there, just leave the bale there. Even though they don't take the full hay bale, just leave the bale and the trigger, and they'll take it as it goes along. So they've been doing fine on food for a while, but they definitely need some water. And with the winter months coming up, I better give them some water because they could get to a cycle where I just go ahead, wake up and go, all right, sleep through the day, sleep through the day, sleep through the day. Because December, January, and February should be no new contracts pop up. And hopefully by the time I actually get to the end of this month, all of the silage that we do have will be brought over to the BGA. And all this manure that we have should be over at the BGA as well. Now, to buy the tanker and the dolly, and I do have the manure system mod on here, to where on some processes of transferring manure or slurry over, we're going to need a hose to do that. So, I mean, that's not expensive, but it's just an added step. Something I did in 19 for sure. It's kind of like the pumps and hoses pack, to where you got to hook up hoses and such. Kind of the same process. I think we'll have to do it at the pig pen. I'm not sure to empty out the slurry at the BGA. I'll have to do that, but if we have to, then I'll buy 2 separate hoses. The only problem I always find out with the hoses is it's kind of hard to transport them. So when I buy them down at the shop, I got to bring them up here. So it's either buy them and carry them and bring them up here, or throw them in the back of a trailer somehow. All right, I can see the trigger, but we got to go into the pig pen for that. Let's open up that one. And I think I got to wait for that to get fully open before we can open up that one. The pigs are well trained. They're not going to go anywhere on us. So he says, oh yeah, run into the shed. That's a good start. So we shouldn't need a belt or anything. I should be able to just pull in and I think hit R, and it should fill right on up. So now the pigs are actually helping us make some cash. Now that we're actually making electricity, is it going to show in my stock market page the electricity that we have and what it sells for? No. It doesn't show the methane either. So, well, oh, we took all that manure in one go? All right, well, so be it. Let me try to get out of here now. Too bad that trigger point is on the opposite side, so I don't have to drive into here, but adds a little bit of a challenge. Watch out, Mr. or Mrs. Piglet. Coming through. Yeah, so I need about 30,000 to get the slurry tank, the dolly, and a hose. No, you definitely got to wait for one gate to close before you can close up the other one. So the slurry is going to have to be put on hold, but that's okay. We got work to do. All right, back over to the BGA. Let's give it the manure. Then we'll stop at the sheep pen on the way back, and we'll top off the sheep with some water. The residents on this little road are going to get a little bit more traffic now that we're coming over here. Eventually, possibly what we could be doing, that little grass field that we do have, I could keep that just for the cows in the future. Ooh, don't go over the edge. And maybe we'll buy a field over here and make it a grass field and constantly make some silage out of it, since we have the big silo bunker here. I mean, the good field to be buying would be the corn field. I tried doing the contract in at the beginning of last episode where, yeah, if you saw last episode, you know. But that field here, that huge grass field, well, right now it's corn, but we can make that into a grass field and just, take the grass from there, put it in there, compact it, cover it, dump it into here. Actually, we're so close. What we could do is get like a couple of belts I bet you 2 belts, maybe 3, and I could make the belt system work where it just dumps right into the BGA constantly once it's ready. I just want to come in here to make sure that that is going. The manure is going perfectly. Doesn't hold actually that much manure, but that's okay. We are full on the manure. So at the top of the hour, I assume we should see some money coming in. This looks like this is where the slurry is going to go. Right over here. And where would I grab the digestate from? So when it comes time to pick up... So right here, I think, is where I pick up the digestate. Hopefully that holds a lot of digestate. Whoops, nope, that's not where we go out. Because I would like to either sell it or possibly use it on a grass field with a sprayer. So that's something that we could do. But that is a ways off, I think. As we have seen, making money on American Falls, it's a slow process. Very slow process. But now with the BGA, hopefully we can make more money with the silage, as I mentioned before. Anyways, to the sheep farm. Just give the sheep enough water to get through the winter months, I hope. Alright, so it's just past the gas station if I was coming the other way. So now it's just before the gas station. Is the water tanker here? Where is the water tanker? There it is. All right, let me turn this around. That way when I leave, it's easy to hook up. We can just go straight on out. I wonder how much water is in the tanker. It's been a moment, so I don't know exactly how much is in here, but our fill point is not too far away. Well, it's 5,000, but I don't think it's going to be enough to top off the water. Or it is. Never mind. All right, we'll drop that off. And yeah, I think I'm done with the zone markers. We'll turn those off so we don't see the red, blue circles everywhere. Red circles? Am I colorblind? Nope. Just stupid. The blue circles everywhere. All right, grab the trailer here. All right, let's just speed up time a little bit. This gets to the top of the hour. I do see the rain is coming. I really don't want to drill in the rain, so maybe I'll hold off onto that. When's the rain going to be here? Where's the rain? Okay, not until afternoon hours. So let's just go to 11 o'clock and we should see some income. All right, so it was like a couple grand, but I don't get a notification exactly how much we got there. So we are going to be making some money from the greenhouses every hour. That wasn't much to begin with. That was maybe like $150 from the greenhouses. But for the first 15, 20 minutes of the BGA running, it already brought us in a couple grand. So really, $130,000 for that BGA is relatively cheap for what BGAs go for. For instance, Hills of Tuscany, that BGA is going to cost me $1 million. Here is $130,000. So even though, as I just said, American Falls, it's hard to come by the money, there are some things which are rather cheap, which is the BGA. So I'm thankful for that. All right, back to the main farm. We're going to drop off this trailer. I want to get that field drilled with wheat and then maybe start bringing some more silage back over to the BGA. I also got to put down fertilizer in the grass field as well. I wonder if I start filling this up and I detach from the trailer, will it still continue to fill? Oh, okay, that'll save me just a minute or two. All right, let's back up and let's get our seed drill. Feels like it's been a while since we used that. I would assume since last fall when we planted our other wheat field. What do we have in here? Is that enough material? Well, I only got 4,000 in the bank. So, I do have some seed over here. I mean, I think we're fine on the wheat seed. Okay, that was wheat again. Just trying to get fertilizer in here. I think the fertilizer goes in the front end. Again, I'll play the dancing game with the trigger and trying to get the fertilizer to go in. There it goes. Just got to find the right spot for it. Alright, so that leaves us with $816 in the bank account. But that's good, and that should be lime there anyways. But I should have plenty of seed for sure. And fertilizer, we should have enough as well. This field's a decent size, but not that big. And then next spring, we'll figure out what to plant in the other fields. Probably some corn, but not as much corn as we've planted this year. And with this nice Avatar drill, it's not going to take us too long to get this field taken care of. And we don't have to worry about crop rotation. We're not doing that in this series. Crop rotation, I do like it because it does add a little bit more, I don't want to say of a challenge, but it makes you think a little bit more of what you want to plant and where you got to plant it. And then this field should be 100% taken care of. We're not going to get any weeds in this field because we did plow it. The only field that will have weeds in it next year is the one that's got the straw bales into it. I was kind of hoping by the end of the month, which is going to be a long shot, I would be able to get that slurry into the BGA. But if it's not this month, it'll definitely be next month because we'll keep bringing the silage over to the BGA and it'll keep processing electricity and methane. And by then, the manure should be all processed. So it looks like the manure I'll just bring over every few months or so. Kind of good to know that when we pick up the manure today, that like the first mound of manure that was there and maybe a half heap that compares to the first heap, that's like a full trailer of manure. Feels so good to re-drill the fields, get some crop back into it. Kind of hoping though that the BGA is going to be the tipping point in some sense for us here in the farm to where we can start bringing in the money a little bit quicker. I think the biggest bonus of it all is just making a little bit more profit from the grass field itself. So this field's going to take just a little bit of time to get done. And then we'll move on to, like I said, fertilizing the grass field. And then back to working on the BGA and getting that field in. We are pretty much done with the month of November. Maybe I'll just go ahead and buy everything in December. Definitely got to start selling those straw bales. That's the best part, to sell them. Best time of the year is like late December, early January. Ooh, I'm putting down fertilizer even though I'm not on the field. That's wasting some money right there. All right, let's get this field planted and move on to the other jobs. I am glad I topped off with the fertilizer because, well, we've used about 80% of it so far. So probably by the time we get done, it'll be close to like maybe 12, 14% left. But our wheat field will be complete. I think we got plenty of wheat in storage actually for a while for the birds and also the pigs. But I'd rather have more than none at all. And the pigs may surprise me because we still don't have a full pen as of yet. I did lift up the drill a little bit too quick last time I made my down pass, so let's go ahead and get that little section right there. There we go. Make sure you lift up your drill when you turn. That way you're not putting fertilizer down outside the field and wasting money. Now the last pass, and we are done. At least with this field. Fertilizing the grass field, that'll take about a second or two. But before I do, since I'm in the Fent and we're going back to the farm, I'm going to grab the trailer of silage. I'm going to bring that over to the BGA. Then when I bring it back, I can let it fill up while I'm fertilizing the grass field. So this usually I plant the first month that I possibly can. But this is the last month that I can possibly plant the wheat. So just have to remember that next year, the wheat probably won't be ready for harvest until the last month that we can do it in. All right, field drilled. Check for traffic behind us. Yep, wait for that car to go through. And this trailer should be full of silage at this point. Doesn't take that long to fill up. It does take a moment or two, but not that long. All right, and it looks like it's full. And the good news is we're almost at the top of the hour, so we should bring in, I'm going to say, close to $5,000 from the BGA. Seems like a good number. Because the first time we got like $2,000 in about 20 minutes. Might even be more than that. Let's go give it another 43,000 liters worth. Probably should have my beacons on for this. That'll be much easier in the future if the silage was right at the BGA. I wish there was multiple bunkers at the BGA though, so I could have you know, one pile of like silage and another bunker of grass or whatever we decide to put in there to make it into chaff, to make it into silage. So that way I can always have one fermenting, and once it turns into silage, we can transport it to the other bunker, which is silage, and that will keep on feeding the BGA. But let's face it, I don't have the means to keep the bunkers that full to begin with. So for now, we're just going to keep taking grass from our grass field, putting it into the fermenting silo and let that process it. The good thing is when next spring rolls around and we come time to cut the grass again, I assume all the grass that's in that silo would have been fermented. So we'll have an empty silo at that point. All right. First time I came to the BGA, I didn't know how to get to here. Did not know this road was really here. Every time I come up there, my trailer just about jackknifes. So we know it doesn't hold that much manure at the BGA, which is fine. But the silage, I wonder how much it holds. See, that's like 50, so maybe like 300, 400,000 liters. That's more than what I can bring over currently. All right, let's just get to the top of the hour to see how much money. So we're at 816. All right, so about 3,500. I thought it was going to be a little bit more than that, of course, but you know what? It's going to bring the money in slowly but surely. I just kind of wish we could see the price of the electricity, and I don't know where it's selling it for methane because we do have a couple of options, but I can't sell it myself. Because if we go to here, I think there's a couple places on the map to sell methane at. Yeah, so I don't know exactly how much we're selling it for. It's one of those things where we like to do a price comparison. If I was just to sell the silage straight up, you know, then convert the numbers over to electricity and methane that we get out of it, how much more we're making. Because if we take like on Goldcrest Valley where we bought the power plant, at least on the hard economy on that map, that power plant just didn't seem like it was worth it. So the question is here, you know, is it worth it? It looks like it is, but without actually having solid numbers to confirm it. I mean, if someone wanted to do a test, I assume they could take, you know, just a plain old fresh map, put 1,000 liters of silage into the BGA, let it process it, and see how much money they earn. And you can do a comparison that way. But since I got greenhouses running and bringing a little bit of income coming in as well, yeah, this I'm just going to assume we're making more money that way anyways. And leave it at that. Yeah, so once we get done fertilizing the grass field, as I mentioned, and probably emptying out the fermenting silo of the silage and bringing it over there, we can move on to the month of December. And hopefully by then, we can buy some equipment for the farm to get the slurry over to the BGA. And we'll let that fill, and while that's doing that, just going to jump on over. I already got the Vultra down by the grass field. Make sure I'm on the widest working width. We are. Perfect. And a few passes with this, and our grass field will be all set for next April. I think it's April that we... Is it April? Then May, June, July, and then August, September. Yeah, should be in April. And finally, we'll get our straw bales out the field in the month of December. If we got the money. I'm hoping we do. Think we will, the way the money's going up. Yeah, so I'm starting to think this field is the one that's most profitable for us. Which is kind of weird because it's almost the smallest field, if not the smallest field, that we own. But at least with the grass, you get 3 harvests per year on it, rather than basically any other crop, which you get 1 harvest. Still remember when this part of the field right here had a whole bunch of trees in it. Well, I say a whole bunch. Nothing like Oceanside Forest, but there was like maybe a dozen to about 20 trees here that we cut down. Dragged on down with the Landini to sell. And there, our grass field is pretty much all set. Just got this one little corner piece down here to quickly take care of. And there's a spot right here. Is that going to sense it? No, it doesn't. Too small of a spot. Alright, so we can bring the Vultra back to the farm. So I did double check. The animals should all be taken care of because we gave the sheep the water. They should be good for another month. The pigs will have to feed in December. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and bring all the silage that we currently have over to the BGA. And then I guess I can double check the store now because we bought the BGA. So small chance a slurry tanker will come up. Maybe not the one I'm looking at to buy, so you never know. We'll have a quick look at that. But I'm going to bring all that silage over, and I'll see you in just a bit, and then check on the store and head to the next month. Just getting back from the BGA from, I think, my 6th trip, maybe 5th. I had a fast forward time. I was not paying attention to how full the BGA was getting, and I was estimating, what, 500,000 liters that BGA would take? No, it's just 300,000. So I had to speed up time to empty out the last trailer load that I brought over. So no more silage going to the BGA, but that's going to be running for a little bit. It is now almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We are up to $14,500, but I do have still 88,000 liters of silage left in here and another 300,000 to be fermented on over. I was checking on the animals while I was filling up with silage at one point, and I thought I was all set, but we're not. The pigs have run out of straw, so not that big of a deal. We do have straw, but let me open up the gate. And the straw is important because, well, without the straw, the pigs are not going to make any manure whatsoever. We'll leave the fertilizer spreader on the back, although that's not going to act as a great counterbalance because really there's no weight there. Let's go ahead and grab... well, it's going to take 2 straw bales for sure. So we'll just grab one at a time. If I could grab 2, if they were stacked on top of one another, I would. But for now, one will be good, and then we'll come in and grab the other one. Wait, did that gate reclose? No, okay. For a second, I thought it reclosed there. Don't know what the heck I was seeing. No, wait. The trough is just got to go in the feed trough area. So it should take a couple of bales. And we can see the straw going in. That's bale number 1 gone. I wonder if I put on some lights here. That'd be better for me. You know, I'm going to grab 2 bales because I can't remember if they take 3 bales to completely fill up or is it just 2? It might be 2.5 bales actually. Am I going to get a hovering bale after it takes the first one? Or is that all it took? So maybe it was just 2 bales is all it takes. Yeah, 2 bales is all it takes. Alright, so yeah, we are full on slurry. That number's not going up, so that's that capacity. So hopefully next month we can go ahead and get ourselves a slurry tanker. We should be able to, the way the money's coming in for the BGA. Actually, I'll close the gate here in just a minute. And we're done for November. Now let's turn the lights off. There we go. Alright, the pigs are taken care of. The sheep, we gave them water, and of course they still got a bale in their feed trough. And the pigs, I will let the feed in the month of December. They are getting low. I just checked on any contracts and nothing there, and I checked on the store. I'll show you what's on sale for the store. A planter would not be a bad purchase, but of course it's way out of our price range. We have ourselves a windrower, and a wheel loader is something we don't really need here. I don't think ever, but you never know. December, yeah, we'll sleep till 8. It'll still be dark. But let's go ahead and see how much money we have. So we're sitting at, what, $14,500 going to bed, and about, what, 12, 16 hours later, how much money are we going to have? $70,000. $70,000. How much more is left over there? How much more is... Okay, we're out of manure. Let's go ahead and deactivate that. But we still have 160,000 liters of silage. Yeah, that is bringing in some pretty decent cash there. What does the store have? Well, they do have a planter, and the one that we've been kind of using. But it's a little bit out of our price range. Oh, you guys are teasing me. But we definitely need a slurry tanker. So, we'll do that next episode, but I'm going to show you what we are going to buy, I do believe. So it's the same tanker that we use quite often, and I'll give the reasons why. One, the price. It's 22 grand, and it'll hold 67,000 liters, and it does hold a whole bunch of different material in it. But we're basically just going to be using it for the slurry, which is right there. I was going to go ahead and buy something like this right here. Holds 21,000 liters, but it's like twice the price. So twice the price for 1/3 of the capacity. But, you know, it's easy to hook up to the tractor and everything. But, the other tanker's half the price. I will have to buy the dolly, which I was going to buy anyways, because I need the low loader to sell the straw bales. Let me just do a quick check on... Yep, this is what I'm saying. They need some food. They need some grain and some corn. And, of course, we'll bring the slurry over. The sheep are doing fine. Their bale is still giving them everything they need. And the chickens and ducks, They are doing fine like they are every month, so we got to go ahead and do that. The straw, we do have some straw. The price is at 48, so I need to sell that probably today. Anything else I really need to sell? Not really. Everything is pretty much in storage for us. So, yeah, next episode, the sun will be up. We'll buy the slurry tanker, the dolly, and I think the hose, because we got to hook up the hose, because this is a mod that we're running, not something you really have to do if you don't have the mod. We'll probably have to hook up the hose to this, and then hook up to our tanker and then fill up. I'm not sure if it's compatible with it, so I'm gonna have to go test on that to make sure. So I may or may not be using the hose with that tanker. I kind of forgot that's a modded tanker, so that may not hitch up at all. I'll have to see how that works. If not, then we're not using the hose, and I'm telling you all that for no reason. But we'll bring the slurry over, and that'll bring us a little bit more money in. Yeah, if that drill stays for sale long enough, it is something I would buy, because we do plant plenty of corn. And for leasing it for an hour, let's see, the Maestro, let's see how much that is to lease for like an hour. Where are we here? No, we were using the case. We usually use the case, so I correct myself. $10,000 to lease for an hour. Oh yeah, so usually we've been using the case. Yeah, first things first. Got to get the slurry tanker, the low boy, and we can sell some straw, slurry into electricity methane digestate, and the sun is starting to come up here in American Falls. But anyways, that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.